Hey guys, so today I'm continuing with the third roll series, and we're going to look at all the times where we split um, to opponent's bar or 20. I call it the major split this time. So 6-3 we play like this, 6-2 like this, 6-4 like this, and 5-4 we play to the 20 and 8 is normal for money, and then we'll look at the third roll follow-ups, whatever the opponent rolls. 4-3 I'd tend to bring 2 down for money rather than 21 and 9. There's nothing wrong with 21 and 9, but I prefer 2 down. So these are the only times where we're kind of splitting high to opponent's bar or 5 point. And we'll use 6-3 as the base case. 6-2, slightly fewer shots, less constructive builder if missed. If we leave it on the 9 point, it's more constructive but slightly more shots. So they're slightly different. But we use the 6-3 as the base case and then adjust if there's any. If I've gone through them all already, I'm just going to try and show you the differences, save you the torture of having to go through all these yourself. But I actually quite enjoyed it and seeing the patterns of what kind of strategic game decision you're going to play, but also the technical sort of differences just with an ace and so on. Anyway, most of these are quite easy because, say, just for example, you get hit on the bar, like with a 4-2 or something, just very quickly, all the sixes are going to hit back, obviously double six fans. 5-4 is going to make the 20, 5-2 is going to hit, 4-3 is going to hit, 3-2 is going to make the 22, double six fans, so the only real questions when we come out to the bar, most of the time, most of them play themselves. The only real questions are numbers like 5-2, 5-1, 2-1, 3-1, and some of the doubles. So I'll go through them one by one. So let's start. We roll 6-3, opponent. I'm only going to look at the GTO, the correct game theory optimal plays, like the number one picks from XG, because they happen the most. If opponent does something else, you can work it out on the fly. So we get double hit by 6-5. Obviously, we're going to use our whole roll to enter. Unless we roll a double, there's some decisions. All of them are straightforward except double 5. And before, I think often I think I'm 10 pips ahead after the roll. I just make the 15, but it's right to make the 3 point by a long way. Well, almost an error not to. And you can see it now. There's nothing wrong with a 20 point anchor. There's no rush to come out. Puts pressure on that blot, makes a point. Okay, you've left 2 blots. But if he hits you on the outside, he's got 4 blots all over the place. You've got the stronger board, you're shooting at all those things. It's pretty horrible for him, so you don't really mind. And this is clearly better. So that was the only real sort of toughie, I'd say. Okay, how about we open with 6-3. Now villain rolls 6-4, and the right play is just to hit once and split. Like that. So now, again, you come in and hit or whatever, or make, wherever you can, or make the anchors. Most of them are straightforward. The only ones I had difficulty were double 5. I think it's very easy over the board just to come in on tidy up and come around to the 10 and the 8, but it's clearly superior to blitz like this. Game over on fans and so on, efficient cubes, just clearly better, easy to miss. And quite a similar one that's easy to miss is double 4. You can double hit as well. Looks like a waste of it, but it's just massively right to do that. Keeps him busy. If he rolls a 6, it's awful. If he comes in here, you can continue the blitz, and just so much better than this, plain pure. But quite easy to get wrong, I think, for mere mortals. Were there any differences? Okay, if we'd open with 6-4 instead of 6-3, and now opponent hits us with the 6-4, plays it like that. They're all the same. Except 3-2. So here 3-2, I think you make the 22. Let's just have a look at this one. Yeah, it's clearly right to make the 22 point, but if we'd opened 6-3-3-2, now it's right to make the 10. I mean, you can see why. And if we rolled 6-2 to open, how do we play the 3-2 this time? Do we come in and hit? Do we come in and make the 11, or do we make the 22? Let's just have a look. I can't quite remember. So it's not easy to make the 11 here. But I guess it's just a point outside. It has a priority over anchoring here. But hitting loose is wrong. I guess if you hit loose, you're giving 5s, 4s, 6s, 1s. Everything's good for him anyway. Yeah. Only other difference, let's have a look. After 6-3, let's just have a look, sorry. After 6-3, 6-4. Sorry, if we play like this, now he rolls a 6-4. As opposed to 6-3, we've opened up with a 6-4. Let's just have a look at double 5. Have a think what you do here. It's quite easy naturally just to hit on the 5 point, but it's a big blunder. This is stronger. You can see the blitz options when he's got a block are just huge. Double 3. I think it's quite easy to go wrong here. I think it's right to make the 5 3 times. Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's kind of very unusual in the openings to do this. Guess you're just winning the game. You don't want to leave all those blots and to get hit back somewhere. This is strong enough. It's quite an unusual pattern, that one. And double 2. Have a think what you do here while I plus it. I think it's just quite a basic point. We make the 4 and come in 8-6, duping the 4s. Like that, dupes the 4s. So hitting's like quite badly wrong, almost error and a half. It's just this play with the 4s, quite easy to miss. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all the combos where we start off with a 6-5 or 6-4. Now we'll have a look at, let's just start again. So where were we? We start with a 6-3. An opponent rolls 6-3, so he's hitting us. Most of it's straightforward. 2-1. It's right to slot our 5 point. Or just split to the 22 as pick'em, I think. But making the 23 is horrible. I think before maybe I came in with a 1 and came down to the 11 duping 1s was what I sort of was my standard play over the years. It's just wrong. Let's have a look at it now. Quite often in the openings, the 2-1 we slot. I mean, it's close with the bar. Yeah. Let's have a look at double 3 from this spot. Oh, this isn't difficult. We're coming in hitting 5. I'm not sure why I had that. Double 2 rather. So I think we make the 4 point, not the anchor here. And just come in quietly with 8-6. We don't step up with the last one. Let's have a look at that when it comes out. Display over any of the others. Anchoring is wrong by a lot. There's no particular rush, kind of dupes sixes anyway for him. There are a few slight differences. Obviously we're not going to get hit on the outside when we open with a 6-2. Now, say opponent rolls 6-3, he's going to hit and split. I think most of them were straightforward. The only questions were 4-2, where it's right to make the 11 point rather than hit back. I think it seems natural to come in and just whack. But I guess you're just giving him too much 4s, 3s, 1s and 6s, whereas, you know, this consolidates, makes a point, leaves you split, dupes his 3s, so that's just fine. 2-1 was the same idea, I think. Just come in on the 24 and make the 11, you don't hit. Same principle. And 3-2, oh sorry, this time you do hit. So quite a bit of a difference there. Not exactly sure why. Maybe it just being stuck back on the 24 is too brutal with both men, whereas the 4-2 you can come in on the 21. 3-2, I think we just make the anchor with no hit. So again, it's just, you don't want to be stuck back here and gives them too much hitting loose. Yeah. Let's just have a look at double 3. I think it was just quite easy when I first saw this. Obviously we're coming in and hitting, just a question of whether we want to come to the 15 or the 21. 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, I mean, we're not coming down. Actually, that's not too difficult. Why do we want to come? I mean, even that's better. So this is a blunder. Again, no good 6 from the bar. Dupes 3s, looks natural. Not sure why I signposted that one. Sorry, it's not too bad. So I think they were the only tough ones. If we'd started off with 6-4 rather than 6-2 and then get hit with the 6-3 hit and split, they're all the same, except let's have a look at 4-2. This time, obviously we can come in and make the 9. The 9's a strong point. But this time 3-2 hits. Whereas after the 6-2, it was better to make the 22. I mean, it's not too difficult to see why. We're not leaving a direct shot. It's not too hard, that one, actually. Double 1. I thought this was quite interesting that instead of splitting with the last, we just button up 9 to 8. Don't want to give him a good 5 and get hit here. That's fine. Over that. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, I think they're the only ones. So after 6-3, opponent rolls a 6-2. It's going to hit and split. Most of it's straightforward. Double 5 is the only one I kind of wasn't 100% sure on, and it's double hit. So come in, make the point, and hit on the ace. Obvious upside is massive for that. Just to go for the full out blitz. If we'd started off with a 6-2, followed by a 6-2, he's going to play it the same way. Now 3-1 before we could just come in and make the 10. 3-1's a bit of a decision. I think what you do here. So it's right, I think, to come in on 24 and play down to the 10 rather than hit. You kind of think you want to keep him hit to sort of keep him off balance, but he just comes and hits back or makes the bar or the anyway. Most likely here, if you bring another checker down, when it's close actually, you know, really close, pick them, nothing in it. But coming in on the just coming in on the 21 is really bad. Error and a half just to come in like that. Yeah, if we started off 6-4, 6-2, we play it like this. We get hit, he hits and splits. No, what am I talking about? If we start off with 6-4, play like that, he can hit us on the outside with the 6-2. So we're going to be in this spot. 4-3, it's right just to make the 18 rather than hit outside. 2-1, we come in on the 23 and slot the 5 because there's nothing else. Kind of dupes the 4s, I guess, to some extent. And double 2, similar to what we saw before, we come in and just make the 4-point and quietly 8-6 with the last one rather than making the opponent's bar or bringing another builder or anything or stepping up. So it kind of looks... Sorry, that was 3-2, I meant double 2. Obviously 3-2 we play like that, there's nothing else. Just show you this, it's just quietly make the 4 and the last one 8-6. By quite a long way. Error to do anything else. Okay, back to the 6-3 opener. Villain rolls 6-1, points on us. Pretty straightforward up until 5-2, where we come in and play 24-22. So important once he's made the bar to get moving, to give air. You don't want to stay back on the 24. So the 5-2, easy to miss this one, I think. Well, you know, quite easy to play this or this probably. This is just nice. And I think 4-2 is the same idea. Coming up, 21 and 22. Common theme against the bar to step up from the 24. Pressures these sort of strip 7 and 8 points as well if he makes a point. Yeah, close this time actually with a 4-2. Double 2, we come in, make the 4-point, and now there's no need to step up, but bring the builder down to the 11 with the last one. Wasn't so obvious to me, but it's right by a lot. Over this, or this. Guess you're starting your priming structure, key is there, and if he hits you, you've got a lot of returns. Kind of seems natural actually looking at it now. So if we start off with 6-3 and opponent rolls 5-4, he's going to hit us on the outside. It's the same as 6-3, 6-3, which we've already looked at, so there's nothing to do there. If we roll the 6-3 now, he rolls 5-3. He's going to make the point. Here there was some things which weren't so obvious to me. 5-4, it's right to come around to the 9 as opposed to step up and or any other play. So this is right over this and this. Yeah. I guess you just don't want to step up to be attacked when you've got one man back. We learned that in some of the other after the 6-5 running video. So it's the same theme there. 5-3 was a bit of a decision. I think it's quite easy just to make the 10 here, but 5 points right by a lot. I guess his 6 is duped and his 8 points stripped. I mean, just say for example he had another builder here. Now I would think coming around the corner's right. Let's have a look. No, even then, 5 points just huge here. I guess 6 is duped. Yeah, I think maybe not for you, but for me this is relatively easy to get wrong. 4-3 looks so natural to make the 10 and play 18-14 or 13-9 or something, but it's wrong. You just want to come around the corner, 18-11. I think that's a really difficult one to find. Just play one man back. I guess same thing, we've got returns if he hits on the outside. Hard one, that one. Whereas 3-2, this time instead of just playing 18-13 safetying, it's right to play to make the 10 and come to the 16. Why the difference? 4-3 you run around the corner, but 3-2 you don't. I don't know. I mean, these are really close actually. So this is pick 'em. Pick 'em. Yeah. Just looking through my notes. If we started off with 6-2 and he rolls the 5-3, they're all the same. Except 3-2, I think this time 13 was clear over 15 and 11. The only difference. Yeah, clear this time. Whereas here it was close. Moving on to 6-3-5-2. So we open with 6-3. He's going to play the 5-2 hit and split. Straight. Let's have a look. 6-2. Not so easy to find the slot of the bar rather than the 4 point. I guess it's duplicating the 6s. It's normally right in the openings to come in and slot the point on the inner board, but here it's an error. And this is better. It must be the duplication of the 6s. 5-3 wasn't straightforward. You know, I think over the board I would have come in on the 20 and 10, but having men on the 18 and 20 is a horrible structure, I do know that. So 22 and 13 simply, I guess you're winning the race, it tidies up, just come in and safety. Okay, it leaves some flies, but he's got the blot on the ace. You don't leave the men on the 20-18, it's really bad to do anything other than this. Yeah, that's fine. 4-2. Yeah, this was a nice duplication of 4s, relatively easy to miss, you know, just thinking you could come in 21-11 or come in safety, but this is just lovely duplication going on there. Double 1 I found interesting. This is another time where I think it was right to come to the 5.3 times. So the last ace 6-5 rather than 10-9. Maybe it's a swing on 4-6 getting hit. Either pick 'em, actually pick 'em. But that pattern or that pattern, it's fine. Sorry, I don't know why I included that one. It's not so interesting. Yeah. So after our 6-3 opening, it's not clear to hit and split with 5-2 like we just looked at. I think it's pick'em just to make the passive play of 22 and 8. Nothing wrong with that at all. So I think we have to look at the replies for here. And this time, let's look at 6-2. This is really hard. I wonder how many people will get this right. So the choice is 18 and 11, making the 4 point, or just round the corner to the 10. This time, I think the 10's right. I wonder if you put this as a quiz, how many people will get this right. I find it really difficult. That's right by a lot. I guess it just does a lot. You're 10 up, makes a point, play with one man back. He's got that spare on the 8. That's a nice one. 6-1. God, this is hard. Not to make the bar here. I mean, especially given the 6-2 is round the corner, and now 6-1 you're supposed to play like this, 18 and 9, volunteering the 6s. I mean, really hard. Why, I'm not sure. You tell me, huh? Why is 6-2 round the corner right, and 6-1 you don't make the bar, you just play 18 and 9. Anyway, worth knowing. They were the only differences. 6-3, 5-1. We're going to get hit on the bar. He doesn't double hit like he does with 6-5. So 6-3, 5-1. Double 4, I found a problem. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I think you come in, make the 4, and the last one to the 9. It's quite unusual, this structure stripping the 8 to make the 4 rather than the 9 point. But if you make the 9, there's no convenient. The last 4 would just have to be up. It's not as good. So it looks wide open. Right by a fair bit. That double 4 is not easy. All the others are straightforward. If we started 6-2 instead and he rolls 5-1 hitting, have a look at 5-3. This time we can't make the 10. Familiar structure of coming into the 20 and coming up to the 21. When he's got lots of men here, it looks dangerous, but it's better than just coming to the 10. I think they pick him actually. Pick him. Yeah. And after, if we'd open with a 6-4 and he rolls 5-1, let's just have a look. I think double. Yeah, I think that's it. They were the only. Let's just have a look at double 2. Yeah, shoe the hit. That looks nice. Big blunder to do that. Easy to do that. Maybe not for you, but for me. Okay. After 6-3, what about if he rolls a 4-3? Makes a standard play like that. 6-2, similar to what we saw before. It's right to hit on the outside and make the 10, as opposed to pointing him on the 4. I guess if you point him on the 4, he's got lots of good returns with 1s, 2s, 4s and 6s. This way you just lock up a guaranteed, I mean obviously pointing on the 4 is nice, but here you get a race lead, make a point, put him on the bar, no returns, just so much better. Thought 5-3 was nice here. I mean, this is really hard to find for me. Well, not really hard, but there's so many options. You can hit on the outside, make the 5 point, just come round. Coming round, I think we've seen the theme now. Head in the race, makes points, consolidates. Hitting just gives him returns everywhere. But even that's better than the 5 point, where he couldn't anchor or attack. So that's fine. Let's have a look at 4-3. Again, options. Come in and hit, come in and anchor, come in and make the 18. These are tricky, these ones. These are genius quiz ones. Sorry, I didn't even see this, but double hits right here. Not easy. Sorry, I was just thinking we were on the bar for some reason. When we're not. So over here or here. That's nice. I haven't got firm rules for this one like some of the other ones that I've managed to calculate. You just have to sort of know them, get a feel for looking at all the different things. Double 5 I've noted here. 3 and 1 point, we just go for it as opposed to any of the other plays. Yeah, I think that one's not too bad. Are there any differences if we play 6-2? He's going to make the same 4-3 response, playing like this, 9 and 21. Everything's the same. After 6-4, he's going to make the same 4-3. I think everything's the same. I think double 5 is the only question where we hit, make the 1 point, whereas the last one will just come down with the final one rather than safety 18-13. Bring another man into the zone, not too hard to find. Maybe let's just have a look at double 3 here. I looked at these quite a while ago, so I can't remember all of them. The 5-4 splits I actually did this morning before I started the session, so they're a bit fresher. There are a lot of exceptions here. It's not all easy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 6-3-4-2. It's the same as if you rolled a 5-1 to start. So we've done those already. He's just going to hit on the bar, exactly the same. How about 6-3-4-1? If he plays it like this, hitting on the 7 and splitting, I think they're close. We'll look at the others in a minute, where he comes down. Let's have a look at 3-2. There's options here to make the 22, the 10 or hit. And I think the 10 is right here. We've seen this outside point again in these opening kind of structures, quite important. This is by a mile this time. I think it's quite easy to go wrong here. Double 2 this time, it's right to hit on the 18. We've seen before. Sometimes it's right just to come in and make the 4, but then there's no fourth convenient one. I guess you could lift it, but yeah, right by a fair bit to hit. So if we'd have started off with a 6-2 and get hit by 4-1, played this way, I think they're pretty much all the same. accept double 3. Obviously we can make the 5 point this time. If it was 6-4, 4-1 play like that. It's that unusual pattern of the 5.3 times again. Yeah. Okay, if we start off with the 6-3 and he decides to play it, play the 4-1 by hitting and coming down. There were loads of hard ones here, I thought. 6-3 I got wrong. I hit on the 18. It's right by quite a bit, I think, to hit on the 16. I thought I want to take away his ability to make the bar. It's just wrong. I guess it's better for him to make the bar than get hit back. It's an error not to play this. Learn something here over this. Not sure if you would have got that right. 5-1. Have a think what you do. 20 and 23, 24 and 5, 20 and 9, 24 and 8. Lots of choices. I can't quite remember. That's right by a mile. Almost an error not to do that. Puts pressure on all these strip points, I guess. 4-2. This time you hang back. You don't come in and double pressure. I mean, that would be a big mistake here. Quite a big difference. Worth noting, these are really difficult. I found 4-1. I think I have to memorize these. I haven't got a rule. 24 and 9. Just going to go through them a bit quicker. 2-1 is right to come in on the 24 and play to the 11. Double 2. It was right to just check my notes to make the 4 point and come to the 11, not hit by quite a long way. That last one down here, this is pretty powerful. Let's just have a look at the 5-4. I think I missed that one. Would you make the 20 or hit on the outside? So making the 20 is marginally right here, whereas 4-3 is right to hit. So there's a huge difference between 5-4 and 4-3, making that opponent's 5 point as opposed to 4. I think that's one thing that's definitely a takeaway from these openings, is that 5-4 you nearly always make the 20. Like that, whereas 4-3 it's right by a lot to hit. Yeah. After, if we'd started with 6-2 and he plays the 4-1 like that, there was one difference with let's just have a look at this. Yeah, see, this time it's right to hit. Difficult. So after 6-3, you're supposed to make the 5 point with a 5-4, but after 6-2, it's right by a lot to hit. I'm not good enough to tell you why. But look how big an error it is not to hit here. With this play, 6 and here. close pick'em this time. So this time it's pick'em. Here it's right to make the 5. Here it's right to hit. So they're hard. I'm not sure a human can calculate that over the board. Just have to kind of know it. One other interesting one, 6-3. Again, I think it's right to hit on the 16 this time by quite a way, as opposed to the bar. I used to get the that one wrong. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so if we play 6-3, what's happening here? Sorry, I had my finger on the keyboard. My notes actually on the keyboard. And he rolls 3-2, 21-11. I mean, I think if he's got 3-2 to play here, just want to remind myself, the opening response, even not even the third roll, they're very close between 21-11, 21-4, or 22-10. I mean, all those openings are close. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to look at this one because I think this is what most people play. And everything's very similar to what we've seen before. Except 5-4, this is really tough to see, but double hits right. So often these themes in the openings double hit where we can after we split. Keep him busy. Also we're race lead, so if he doesn't come in on the ace, he comes in high. It works our way. So that was right. I don't think that's super easy to see. 4-2, really tough. It's right to double hit here, as opposed to make the 4 point. By a fair bit. 3-2, massively right to double hit, rather than make the 10 and 4, which looks kind of natural. 2-1's pretty much the only one where we don't hit, where we just simply make the 10. The double 5 we've seen before, we can make the 3 and 1 point, and the double 4, obviously we hit and make the 4, whereas the last one, it's to come down to the 9, all those blots rather than up by a fair bit, playing like this, full out attack when he's got 2 on the bar, rather than making the 10. Like, seems natural actually, thinking about it. Not so natural, often it's right not to have as many blots kicking around if he comes in with 2, but this is cool. Yeah. So after if we'd have opened 6-4 and he plays 3-2 like this, just want to see actually what the right play with 3-2 is for him. I think that's right. What would he do with a 3-2 here? There is a hit on the ace. Let's just check. Yeah, 21-11's right by a fair bit. So he plays this. So after 6-4, what would you do with a 4-3? Would you make the 5 point? Would you hit? Where would you hit? So it turns out it's right to hit on the 14 and come around to the 11. No double hit this time. Not so easy. Guess it picks up a fair bit in the race. Doesn't give him a good 6 from the bar, just 5s. 4-2 we saw before the double hit, but this time, so after if we'd have opened with 3-2, the 4-2 is a double hit, which was surprising, but this time it's the 4 point, very difficult. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's a double hit with the 4-2 because clearly 4 point here. After this one, because it gives you a good 6 return, whereas here it doesn't. From the bar, if you get hit back, that kind of makes sense, and the upside's huge if he doesn't hit you. But 4-1 this time we make the 5 point. as opposed to a hitting play and 13 or 9-8. So these are really tricky, some of these. Just have to go through and memorize, I think. And there aren't that many, but the ones that are difficult. You know, you almost make an error if you don't do these plays. Get them right. 6-3-2-1. He's going to play it. He's going to hit with a 1 and come down with a 2. Yeah, I think, again, I got these runs wrong before. I would have hit on the bar always, thinking I want to send that checker further back, gain more pips in the race, and don't let him make the bar, but it's wrong. Don't know if everyone else finds this easy, but I never knew this. This is right to hit the outside one by quite a bit. It's almost a double error to make that play. I guess that structure of 18 and 20 is horrible again. Kind of know it now. 5-1 I thought was quite interesting. It's right to come up to the 23, duplicates the 6s, and rather than the 9 with the ace, freezes the stripped 8 point as well. 2-1, it doesn't matter if you come in on the 22 or 23 and 5, pick 'em. And double 4, so we come in, make the 9, make the 4 point, and I think the last one is down rather than up. Let's just have a look. Often it's right to make the 9, but here you need the threat of the inner wall point. So this over this, or this. Okay, blots galore, but it's the right play. Okay, we're getting there. So if we start off with 6-3, villain rolls double 6. It's going to point on us like that. Some of these were difficult. 5-2. We're going to see this quite often. It's a bit like after a 6-1. It's right to step up to the 22. I always thought 20 and 24 was good structure, and I'd probably slot the 4 before, thinking I'm drooping the 3s. But it's right to step up with that deuce. Even though it looks like you're still ahead in the race, just got to fight for that anchor and air or something. Don't think it's super easy to find that kind of anti-thematic in a way, but rather than staying back. These are tricky. 5-1. Looks natural actually to come in 20 and 5. 4-1 is going to be the same, I think, 21 and 5. But 3-1, yeah, it's the same theme for everyone. This is hard. I think most people will come in on the 24 and make the 10. But once he's rolled this double 6, you've got to fight for an anchor. You can't just stay back on the 21, and this dupes the 3s, and it's just a really nice thematic play to find that one. Same with 2-1. Got to step up to the 22, I think. Fight for an anchor. Don't want to make the 23 or come in and slot this time. Got to step up to the 22. So the key with nearly all of these is just step up to the 22 when he's made the bar if you can. Yeah. So 6-3 double 5, they're all very easy. I don't think there were any problems when he blitzes you. 6-3 double 4 was easy. 6-3 double 3. I think he's just gonna make the bar on your head with a double 3. Let's just have a look if there's anything unusual in my notes. 5-2, same principle. Coming up with that deuce at the end to the 22. Similar to 6-3 double 6, 5-2. So 6-3 double 3, 5-2, 20 and 22 as well. The 5-1, so I'll just show you here. Yeah, by quite a bit. 5-1, we come in and come to the 9 by 0.014 rather than slot or come up. 4-2. Not so easy to find this one, I don't think. It's 21 and 8. Got to step in high. I would have thought the last one was down, but it's too many blots. Looks ugly, but just tidy up. Race isn't terrible. Guess he's ready to attack. Even 23 and 9 maybe over the board I would have played. I think they're quite close, 21, 11, 20, yeah, 0.05, but this or this better than these plays. I may have even made that before, it was a 0.05, too loose. But the 4-1, it's clear to slot the 5. I guess it dupes the 4s so well this time. Coming in on the 21 and the 5. Yeah, massive. But the 2-1 doesn't dupe the 4s, so we don't do it this time. We just come in on the 24 and the 11. Big difference. Error not to. So the 4-1's slot, the 2-1 you don't. Guess you're going to get worked over if you come in on the 23 as well. Unlikely to ever make the 5. That's right by a lot, just a natural play. If we start off with 6-3 and he rolls double 2, 4-3 was the only one I kind of struggled vaguely with. I was thinking possibly to make the 10 and slot or 20, but it's just round the corner by a mile with the 4-3 to the 11 point. And double 1, if you roll 6-3, I think that is right, isn't it, with it, how he played double 1 rather than 22. Let's just check. That's a good revision of the opening double 1s. Yeah, it's clear. Because we're back on the ace point, the bar's so key. The only one I struggled with here was a 5-4. Where it's right just to run into the outfield to escape rather than come in on the edge of the prime and bring a builder down. Yeah. 2-1, we just come into the 22. Double 4. We're going to hit on the outside, you make the 4 or the 9. Or just all the way. This one surprised me, I think. Yeah, it's just to come literally all the way, not make any outside point, as opposed to that or that. I don't think that's easy to find at all. How many people would find that? Maybe hit there, safety, and then you got the last one there. Just play with one man back. So yeah, I think that was the end of the 6-3 series. Some of them were tricky. A lot of them were straightforward, but the ones that weren't were tricky, if that kind of makes sense. I made a lot of mistakes I've always made. You see how long the video's been going. Been going almost an hour. I think that's enough. Yeah, the 5. Next time I'm going to split it up. I was going to do all the major suits, like basically after 5-4 split. All the problems that occur after this opener, but it's just too much. An hour's of video is enough, and there's quite a few tricky ones after the 5-4 opener as well. So I'll do that in a separate video. So this was just 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 opening rolls. I don't know, I hope you found it okay. I don't think I was the clearest here, but maybe it's just not that clear in my mind. The 5-4, these ones were better. I'll do it soon. Thanks, see you soon.